Hello, friends, and welcome to today's DLLS Cowboys Podcast. We do have more things that Jerry Jones could learn. What's about to happen with the Cowboys' biggest free agent, and who should they sign? All of these things and more in this show starts now. Welcome into today's DLLS Cowboys Podcast, and per usual, we got a bunch of stuff to get to, and per usual, we like to shout out to the people who were here before the show even started, hitting the like button, making sure they're subscribed, being in the chat. Nesto's in there first a lot.
Yeah.
I also really like Soto's comment before the show starts. I'm here. Kick ass. Here we go. So thank you to all of you guys for being here, and we're going to get this show started with some more information about how that team that just won all the games, and can the Cowboys copy that situation? My name is Jeff. I'm seated next to former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Happy President's Day.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Shout out to the presidents. That's what we're celebrating, right? All of them? Or some?
Is it some?
Next to Jesse is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Clarence Hill.
If you want to win, put pop.
The connoisseur of Club Pop Pop. Oh.
Shout out to North Crowley. Shout out to North Crowley, Ray Gates, 817.
Who moves the mic away to say something?
I'm sorry. Shout out to 817.
That's a dope one.
Yeah.
Next to Clarence is his protege coming for the crown, the great Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe.
You know, they say never meet your heroes.
Yeah.
But Clarence, you're not that bad.
Yeah, look at that. Is there a reason we're shouting out Crowley today?
State champs, baby.
The state champs. I got my shirt. I finally got my shirt. I've been waiting for a shirt.
Oh, okay.
Finally got my shirt. So
that's kick ass.
817 versus everybody.
Everybody in the
North
club.
Crowley.
Everybody in Club Pop Pop.
What set do you claim in the DFW? I know you're from Schulenburg, but do you claim a set? Like, do you claim the South Side?
I claim Tarrant County.
Tarrant County?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Mr. Fort
Funky
Worth.
Town.
Okay.
But now that I'm at DLS, I'm Mr. Dallas now too.
Yeah.
You know.
And Sean with a great question. No Club Pop Pop song? And Jeremy said that's a Club Pop Pop moment.
Where legends drop, Clarence Hill just can't stop. Breaking news, you gotta hop. Club Pop Pop.
Hey. Stuck in my head all weekend. All weekend stuck in my head.
That's a great song.
Clarence
bro.
Hill just can't stop.
You gotta
breaking
hop.
Breaking
stories.
stories.
You gotta hop
Damn.
in Club Pop Pop.
I'm on top though. I'm on top.
You got to bring that out to your next. What is it called? Chill and Friends.
Yes. Cowboys and Chill.
Cowboys and Chill.
Yeah.
You need to bring this out. You need to bring this out right here.
Cowboys and Chill at Club Pop Pop.
Yeah.
I was farting around on the internet today.
Farting.
Yeah, that's what I call it when I'm browsing. When I'm at my computer, I'm farting around on the internet or donging around.
I gotta
come again?
Which one do you like better?
You can't
Chat?
dong around.
Donging around on the internet or farting around?
I don't think you
say
can
what?
dong around in 2025.
You catching me in them grays, bro.
I'm getting old.
Your grays is coming in. Your hairline's better than mine, but you wear yours in the soup in the front, so we really can't tell.
Yeah, well,
But your grays on the side is coming in pretty strong, bro.
Is something stressing you out?
And I think no. Well,
It's called age.
yeah. I might go hair dye. I might dye.
I'll get ready to say,
might.
You've been known to Botox.
I will just say most people that I have talked to that I would be romantically interested in have been like, no, that looks fine. But one might have been like, maybe dye it. And I'm like, I'm not offended by that. I'm like, okay.
It's always interesting. Yes.
It
It will be interesting.
Men, we do so many things for women. Like the dress, the car, the look, the clothes.
You're gonna get ripped for this.
job.
You're gonna get ripped for this.
We do. We
You're
a
gonna
lot
get
of
ripped
what
for
we
this.
do. A lot of what
You're gonna
we
get
do.
ripped for this.
A lot of what we do
it'd be fine.
are because we're trying to impress a woman.
Well, and in my case,
Or not
it's-
turn one off.
Or
In
not
my
turn
case,
one
it's-
off.
I think it just depends on who you are and how you're wired. Because in my case, like I never know what to do with my hair. Like I don't have something that I like or dislike. So if somebody wants to have a preference for me, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Like
doubt.
there's some things that if it was like, hey, I want you to do this, and I strongly disagreed, I'd be like, I'm not going to do that. But like, please help me dress. Please tell me what to do with my hair.
Embrace the grays, bro.
Oh yeah, because if you go down that hair dye train,
Yeah.
that road, you know,
Yeah.
every time you go out, every time you go, you know, just like it's a process
What do you mean?
That you gotta have the hair dye often.
to be consistent.
That's like,
with
I
it.
mean, like I use
No,
hair
no,
I thought you
pills.
just do
No,
like
like
once every
I-
month
like
or two. You
I
kind
called Michael Irvin when you know in between the dyes. You know, I'm like, dog, you know, you got gray hair, you can't be, you know.
But no, I'm talking about like.
you can't,
But he's
you
gonna go
can't be
like
in between the dyes,
like the
okay?
ladies dye. Like the ladies dye lasts a little longer.
Yeah.
Like to do that, you gotta go to the salon and get
Yeah,
the ladies
yeah.
dye.
I'm just saying, yeah, y'all get caught in between the dyes, man.
So anyway, I was donging around on the internet, and actually Joe hit me to this, and it's something that it's a story that I've been tracking. I've been tracking and recklessly speculating on, but I will tell you that for
Recky
once,
Specky.
my Recky Specky was dead balls on this one
Mm-hmm.
because it was a interview with a bunch of people involved with the Eagles, including Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, on SI.com, which is amazing because I don't view them as an actual outlet anymore, but I guess they still have a writer there.
Yeah, Albert Brewer's still.
Okay,
still
Albert's still there.
It's
Okay.
still Albert Brewer. Yeah,
So they
he's
still have
killing
a writer.
it. Yeah,
at
he's
SI.
still killing it.
And I'm just going to take one portion of it, although I think there's a lot of good stuff in here in terms of how that machine is run and how, in a lot of ways, it's different from the Cowboys. And this is not a ranting day, but the Cowboys are a very, very, very friends and family sort of operation. Like, yeah, I bet you could do that job, and I bet you could do that job. And a lot of the story throughout here is just the lengths and depths to which they've gone to find edges to be better than everybody else at every little aspect you can be, whether it's your coaching staff, your cap management, your drafting, like all the different ways they try to find an edge. And they won the Super Bowl, so you get to pretend everything they do is perfect. But the part about how they sold, Jeffrey Lurie sold 8% of the team to get $700 million in his pocket, which, by the way, is like 3.5 times what he paid for the team originally. So he's already doing great there. Congrats. And I thought, yeah, they did that because they're the team that's the most aggressive at signing free agents every year with big signing bonuses. And then that way you can manipulate the cap and move things around. And here's Jeffrey Lurie, quote, "My philosophy is, you're obviously trying to run a sound business, but I think success is determined by your success on the field and your success in the community. And so anything you can do to maximize those two, the value of the team is going to be appreciated more by your performance and your reputation in the community than anything else. It's not going to be the, I don't know what all these letters stand for,
I had to look it up too.
the credit debit situation. Like
It's your basically your net gain.
it's not going to be the balance sheet in a certain year or 2 or 3 or 4. There's a reason we just sold limited partnerships for the highest price in sports history. It wasn't based on being the most profitable team at all. It's based on the performance over time and the reputation in the community and the forecasting of where we hope to be able to sustain over the next multiple years. It's much more than the financial bottom line. Now, I guess you could get criticized by some Wall Street analysts, but we don't operate that way. We just don't operate that way. And the Giants recently sold or are trying
Looking
to
to
sell,
sell, yeah.
and do the same sort of thing. And it just makes me look at the Cowboys and be like, man, that doesn't sound like Jerry Jones' words. Like, it's not, it's about the product on the field, and that will lead to our business being worth more. And then you go to Jerry and you're like, what do you think about this? And I mean, his answer should be, mine's worth the most. So what are you talking about?
Again, and we talked about this pre-show. I just think it's a different philosophy based on how you came about it. And Jerry went broke. He went broke buying the Cowboys. You know, he had to borrow money. Gene got a car cut up. He will tell you all of this stuff. He bought the Cowboys as his primary business interest. Yes, he wants to own a football team. He wants to own a football team to make money off that football team. Where these other owners, that's their side business. You know, this is not their primary money-making venture for the family. That's what it is for them. Yes, they do real estate. Yes, they were oil and gas, prospectors.
Oil and ass.
Yeah.
Oil and
Well,
Oil and gas.
Yeah.
You know, and all of that stuff, you know, glory hole and all that stuff. But he's made the most money of his life with the Cowboys. That's his primary source of income. And so his mindset is always going to be what helps my business become profitable. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying his way is better.
As a business owner, it's right.
Yes. But as far as winning games, and we always talked about, I've talked about you can't serve two masters. His focus is always going to be making money as much as it is going to be about winning on the field.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating, though, when you kind of talk about the two differences between these two franchises. Yes, you talk about how they came about it, but currently you look at Forbes as, and again, this is not the exact same thing, right? Or it's not the exact on the point. We don't see all the books. But the Cowboys are valued at $10.1 billion. The Eagles are $6.6 billion. 8% of $6.6 billion is $528 million. So like selling that much money or that percentage stake to get that much money gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of salary cap stuff. Makes you wonder, okay, yeah, what would the Cowboys have to even get to get some flexibility? What if you offer 2% of $10.1 billion? That's not that much. That's not that much stake in order to get a lot of money in terms of what you can do in the short term to have more flexibility and to really go all in. So I think it's fascinating, like what they would actually have to do in order to do what the Eagles are doing in terms of to get that liquid money is not the same thing to get there. So it does make you kind of frustrated of like, why not?
Well, one number, he doesn't want to give up any interest of his franchise. Okay, he doesn't want to sell to anybody. He doesn't want someone outside in it. He don't even want somebody that just outside trying to be inside getting some of his money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying when we turn to Joe, I was telling you to take the mic.
You don't want somebody in it.
I do think, and maybe it's just my perception of Jerry, but no, I absolutely believe that he wouldn't want that to be a story, that Jerry Jones has sold X% of the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I think there's just too much pride that this is mine.
Yeah.
And it's like, it would make for a great press conference if you said, no, now we're going all in.
Yeah.
Your boy's got cash burning a hole in his pocket, and it is time to sign people and track down these Eagles, baby. It would make for a great presser, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about him in some ways, but in my mind, he would view it as seeing the headline of Cowboys sell 5% stake as failure. Some sort of failure or insult. Like this is like, I need to do something else.
An admission of almost like I couldn't do it without just on my own.
Like I think he wants it to be this. Maybe. No. This is mine. It is not ours.
But after 30 years of football ineptitude, right? Not being able to get to the promised land.
Yeah, we're the 6th winning franchise of the last 20 years. I don't know if you know that. You talk about that little drop, but we still winning games, guy.
The games that matter. The games that truly matter. And I know that you have to win regular season games and get to those games, but when they get to those moments, they just don't have the ability to overcome the people that they have to face. And so you would think after so much time has elapsed that pride would be able to be humbled enough to say that another way has to be better. Another way has to work out for us. And not saying that you're copying someone else, you're just moving with the trends. You're moving along with how the business is being done in the 21st century. You're still trying to operate at such a rate that happened in the 90s, and that isn't working for you anymore. Because we talk about signing this, signing that. Like, yeah, if you go and sign Micah, you go and sign Osa, you go and sign J. Lou, you go and sign all the guys from your football team, you don't get better.
You're not better.
You just got the same football team you had last year. Right? The going getting better part is bringing some of those guys back and then going to add to those guys, adding key contributor to those guys who may be equal to or better than them. And the way that you do that is this new term, is this new way of doing business of selling a small portion of your franchise to get a larger in return. And then with that, you'll sell more concessions. You'll sell more merch. The things that happen around the business will continue to grow. And so you'll always be making money. Like that part will never stop happening for you if you're winning the way that you should be winning, that you have not won in over 30 years.
Yes, and that's the problem, tomato, because you said ineptitude and failure. I will tell you right now, the Cowboys do not think they've had 30 years of ineptitude.
Yeah.
Right. They do not believe that.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
But they don't believe it's 30 years in aptitude, especially when they're making so much money. You talk about more. They're making more money than God allows with merchandising and popcorn and everything. From their standpoint,
I don't have the concrete numbers in front of me, but I've spoken to some people that live in those worlds, and they have taken a hit this year. They have taken a hit in merchandise.
I'm just saying last 30 years.
I'm just saying that they're coming to a point where the numbers may not be as drastic, but they're definitely taking a hit in those areas where they won before.
Let that Forbes list have him 4th next year.
I know.
The valuation won't be for it.
But one quick note,
the jump might not be what it was.
Yeah, but one quick note on that, because we pointed this out last week, like, hey, they don't have to worry about marketing stuff because they're so good at it, right? It's already inherent. It's a self-sustained machine at this point.
Used to be.
I don't know if they know what it would look like in 2025 in terms of marketing if they won a Super Bowl. Like what in today's world it would be financially. I don't know if they know.
And just to get a correction, like Toby in the chat, I saw Jerry owns 51%, so if he sold, he has less than half. Technically, yes, Jerry and Gene own 51%. The other 49% is owned by his 3 children.
Yeah.
So like
there are no minority owners.
That is what it is. It's 51% Jerry and Gene, and the 49 is split between Steven, Charlotte, Jerry Jr. Yeah. So yeah, they got the whole thing, baby. They got the whole thing.
And somebody else wanted some, but they wouldn't let her get none.
See,
you know what? And I think she's earned it.
You know what?
Coming up next, we have a projection for the deal the Cowboys' biggest free agents in line for. Will they lose him? That's next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast.
And you are not making money hand over fist like Jerry Jones, but you do attend his games. And maybe you want to save some money, and hopefully that adds up to maybe big, probably not. But if you do want to save a couple dollars, here's how you do it. You download the Game Time app. You use this promo code DLLS, and you get $20 off your first purchase. What I love about Game Time is they cut out all the fluff. The price that you see is the price that you're going to pay. You're not going to see a price in the seating area, and then you get to the checkout area, and it's inflated 10 times what you saw before. No. When you go and see the price, that's the price. When you go and see where you're sitting, it's going to give you a real live view of what that looks like, whether that's at a stadium or a concert or a comedy show. It will tell you exactly where you're going to be sitting. So head on over, download the app, use the promo code DLLS, and get $20 off your first purchase. What time is it?
Game time. Also, shout out to our friends at Sleeper, promo code DLLS Boys. You need that on the Sleeper app, because when you download the Sleeper app and you use that code DLLS Boys, you will get $55 in free entries when you place a $5 contest. And Sleeper's super fun. You just go through, and now football is beyond us, but that's okay because they have all sorts of other sports on there, and all you're doing is picking each game. I think so-and-so is going to have more or less than his projected stats.
The Battle of the Nations.
The Battle of the Nations. I think that whoever's an American hockey player will have more points than projected, and whoever our goalie is will have more saves than projected.
Jake Ottinger in goal tonight.
I believe you. For what country? Is he ours?
Yeah. He's Stars goalie.
That's an American man?
Man America.
All right. Yeah, go get some of that action. I don't know where people are from in hockey. I just assume. I don't know. But yeah, and you stack those picks up, and the more that you combine, the more you can win, all the way up to 100 times your money. So check out our friends at Sleeper.
I believe he was iconic.
So now, segment 2 of the broadcast day, I was donging around on the internet.
Again.
There it is.
There you go.
I was double donging this week.
Double donging.
I do was farting
wild.
I was farting on the internet.
I was farting around on the internet.
A double dong with a side of fart? Oof.
You know, I like the team building stuff in football. I like free agency. I like the draft. I like these things. And the reason is probably because you get to be optimistic and dream and talk about what could be, even though it probably won't be.
I think that's why we work so well together, because you love the team building aspect of it.
I do.
I just love the team playing, breaking down that part aspect. Like, once you get all that other stuff out the way,
yeah,
give me the team and let me rock and roll.
You think we work well together?
I mean,
we're going.
We're going.
So anyway,
I think you guys do.
Thank you.
On that's Pro Football Focus, PFF. They do it. They try to project what each free agent is going to get. A couple places do this. PFF does it. Overthecap.com does it. And they'll get in the ballpark usually. They'll be kind of in the ballpark. And Osa Odighizuwa, the Cowboys defensive tackle, who is an impending free agent, is one of the guys I've been the most interested in. And like, what is he going to get? And what does it mean on the likelihood that the Cowboys would be involved in actually trying to keep him? Because I will tell you, if you do not have Osa Odighizuwa on this football team,
You do not have
your defensive tackles are butt.
It's dire.
dong.
There's really only one on the team. It's Mozzie. I mean, technically, Justin Rogers is on the team if he makes the team next year. And there's another guy whose name I can't think of that is technically on the roster. But like, you have one NFL-ish defensive tackle on the whole roster if Osa's not here. So the projection for Osa's contract is 4 years, $85 million, which when I start doing division, so that means 2 would be 42.5, which means 1 would be 21 something.
21 point.
Does that
25,
number
25.
strike you as high, low? You think the Cowboys are in on that, or it makes you think they're more out on that? What does that number do for you?
We shouldn't even be here. I'm going to be honest with you. We should not even be here. This should not be a topic of discussion.
You think Osa was a no doubt signing a year ago?
Should have signed him.
Okay.
You should have signed him. You should have signed him 2 years ago. You should have got him locked up 2 years ago. And what you've done now is you've allowed him to get to a place where the market now is going to dictate his price.
Right.
Right? Where you could have gotten him, and this is the part about the team building part. If you're looking and you're projecting and saying, you know what? This is a guy who we believe will be around for some time. We want him in this program. We want him in this organization. We want him on this football team. Let's give him a deal. And the deal doesn't have to be a deal that's record-breaking or breaking the bank, but a guy like that who is honestly a good player. He's a good player. Like, Osa's a good player.
And a year ago, you probably could have got him for 12 to 15 a year for 4 years.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not, like, Osa's not a world beater. But what's going to happen is you're now you're watching a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. And what happens is teams start looking around and going, holy moly guacamole, we need to start having more defensive linemen that look like that, play like that, act like that to help our teams get to where we want to get to. What does that do? The ones that they do have in free agency, because you guys have told me in the draft that this draft is really, really heavy on interior defensive linemen. Right?
Keeping in mind the defensive tackle is one of the spots that generally that first year you're not going to kick ass.
It takes a couple of times.
So take a couple. We're witnessing that with Mozzie Smith.
Right.
So now the value has gone up in a guy like Osa when he's now on the market, because teams are saying, well, this is a guy who has shown that he can go out there and play, can give us position flexibility, can give us a good rotation, can give us the minutes that we need game in and game out to bring our football team to a closer, and especially those teams that are right on the cusp, the real team that are hanging around the rim, or the real teams who are actually competing in the playoffs. So now you've allowed his value to rise up. And now you have to go and now compete with other folks with the dollar amount. When you could have been looking at this a year or so ago and said, you know what? Let's just give this guy the money now, and now we won't have to worry about it in 2 years. And now he can't press us to now going from $12 to $15 million, where now he's going to demand $20 million because the market says so. Like, these are the things that we look at when it comes to the Cowboys and say, you wait to the very last minute, and then you get get bent over with no Vaseline, and get, you know what I'm saying, and get done up on these contracts. And now you have to have the battling situation of, do we keep them? Don't we keep them? And now if you don't have them, to your point, you don't have anything. So now you're almost forced to go out and pay the premium price for a guy who's already big in your organization, who you could have had for a much cheaper price, because guys like Osa, who are trying to get to that second contract, would have taken that money to be a part of this, because they don't know what the future holds. They don't know how this thing is going to work out. They don't know how their future is going to project, because they don't come from a place of high projection to begin with. So when an agent or a player like that is presented with that kind of money, they go, I'm on. I'll take the $12 million. I'll take the $15 million. Let's do it. And now you have a guy for the next 3 to 4 years at a very, 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 very reasonable price, that now you can use that other money to build around him. But now you're going to have to go and pay almost twice as much what he's really worth, because you allowed him to get to the end of the market.
It's interesting. The Cowboys
It better be interesting.
Cowboys damn to do and damn to don't.
Because they waited.
Well, what I'm saying is this:
they've picked wrong.
They paid Terrence Steele early.
They did it wrong.
They
paid
but they pay guys early who are willing to take less money.
They paid Terrence Steele. trying to do the same thing.
They paid Terrence Steele after his knee injury.
Yes, they should.
When his stock was at an all-time low.
They paid Michael Gallup early
After his injury.
It just seemed like they just made bad decisions on who they paid, who they don't pay, who they project needs to be a foundational piece to this organization.
And also, I hope that you get all of the money.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to go in your pockets and take money from your pockets. I'm just speaking on the terms of how the Cowboys wait to the end.
Yeah.
Osa, I want you to get all of the bread. I want you to get $100 million if you possibly can, $25 million if you can. Go get the money. Dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah.
I struggle with Osa because I think that he's a good defensive tackle, as we talked about. I think he's a really good pass rushing defensive tackle. I think his run defense kind of leaves a little bit to be desired. And with Matt Eberflus coming in, I'm wondering, do you need a guy at your 3 technique who's a big body who can kind of move guys around and play run defense? Or does Osa also give you some flexibility keeping Micah Parsons outside where you can run some stunts with those two and you can kind of get after the quarterback and do things that way? But when I have these questions, I keep coming back to the idea a franchise tag is $24 million for a defensive tackle. They're not going to do that because they're not going to have a $24 million cap hit on 1 year. I don't think.
I could see it.
I don't think for Osa.
I could see it as the in-between option.
We would ridicule that and scrutinize that because that, to your point, so you waited all this time only to have a guy that's going to be $24 million cap hit when, if you really liked him that much, you could have extended him, moved his cap number off so that maybe you have more moves in this coming year. I don't think that is the smart outcome. It could happen, to your point. I don't think it is. I think, personally, there's enough defensive tackles kind of on the older side of things where you can kind of go and get multiple for a certain price tag and then draft 2 to 3 guys in the draft to kind of give more depth and more rotation and kind of groom them a little bit, let Mozzie develop in year 3, that you could for Osa. So because the situation is so dire, frankly, personally, I don't see a guy that's worth $20 million for the Dallas Cowboys a year.
And I think I mostly agree in terms of like, what do you think that player is worth with the salary cap, et cetera, et cetera. I also want to get out there what Jesse said. I agree. I hope you get all of the money. I hope every single player gets all of the money and all of your families are wealthy for all time. Yeah, I think they let themselves get to the bad spot that they let themselves get to a lot. Mm-hmm. The guys who they tend to extend early are the guys who are most amenable to doing that, which are the guys that are hurt. Right. Like a guy who their agent knows in their heart of hearts, hey, what he's offering us, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And so it ends up being Jalen Smith, and it ends up being Gallup, and it ends up being Terrence Steele. And they let the guys who, like Osa's a durable, good player that wasn't going to probably just take whatever you offered him. You would have to make it reasonably competitive, and then you could do it. But I think they take the easy way out of negotiations and sign the ones that are no-brainers for them if they can just draw the most optimistic outlook ever. Mm-hmm. And the most optimistic outlook ever is Michael Gallup will be right back from that injury. Mm-hmm. Jalen Smith's leg will grow back. Zeke will be great until he's 32.
Lyle Collins
will be healthy and
paid
great.
Him early.
Mm-hmm. And they signed the guys early who are super excited to be signed early. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the guys who they wait on, and Osa's a weird in between. Dak, CD, Micah, no brainer. Doesn't matter what it costs, you're paying them. Osa was one where it's like you should have made a decision at some point, and now you let yourself get to you're paying. In a league where 31 other teams and probably 10 or 12 of them are in a rebuild, staring down the barrel of $140 million in cap space, it's nothing to them to be like, yeah, give him 23, give him like that's nothing to them. And now that's what you're bidding against. I think they screwed it up again. Shocking. But I also don't think they can let him go. No, Joe has it right. You can let Osa go, accept your comp pick in a year, and get his job done by 2 people for less than he's going to make total. I think that's the way to do it. But there's
still risk in that. That's the thing, too, is like, at least with Osa, you know what you're getting, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not, you talk about durability, I think that's something you can count on him. You know what he is moving forward. And I do think the idea to kind of have him as a pass rush combination with Micah is very intriguing. I can't pay him $24 million because I know how the Cowboys work with their cap hit. If they said, hey, yes, Osa, we're going to sign you for $20 million a year, but you're going to have a $5 million cap hit this year. And Micah's going to have a small cap hit, and we're going to use that money to then go and sign Milton Williams too. Bring him in too.
It's harder to do when they got 0 years left on their contract.
Exactly.
That's how the smart teams do it. They don't do that with 0 years left. They do it with 1 or 2.
So it's tough. I mean, he's a tough one.
Coming up next, it is a Magic Marker Monday on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, and we'll need your help in the chat. You might have to Google, I don't know, how much football you got just jammed in your brain. A free agent on offense and a free agent on defense that you would like to add to the Dallas Cowboys. We'll give you ours next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
If you're like me, you understand that summer bodies are made in the wintertime.
They are.
They are, absolutely. And our friends over at Ice Shakers, this is a Grunt Brothers product. Over 1 million of these bad boys sold. Icebreaker.com is where you can go. You can use the promo code ALLCITY25 to get 25% off one of these items. Here's what we have here. We have these officially licensed protein shakers. You can get them in MLB, NBA, NHL, NFL, or you can even go to their special account and you can download your own signal. What I love about this, they have this built-in agitator. They don't have that loud dingy ball on the inside that you may lose, that may melt in the dishwasher, but you put this thing on right here, screw it on, you shake that thing all about, and now your protein shake is ready to go, and it stays cold up to 30 hours. So head on over to iceshaker.com, use the promo code ALLCITY25 and get 25% off. Get a gift for someone or get 2 or 3 for yourself.
Also, a hearty salute to our friends at Rugged Road. You can't see it, but I can bang on it. That's a durable cooler right there.
That's what she said.
Rugged Road is dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Whether you're on land or water, Rugged Road gear built to accompany you on every adventure. I'm talking coolers, and I love a good cooler. I have a Rugged Road cooler now, and I was able to get rid of all my other coolers.
Throw them away?
I got rid of all my other coolers because I have a Rugged Road now.
Well,
It does everything.
Everything for you.
It's got the good size, but it's still light. It's durable. And if I ever throw it in the pool, which I tend to do from time to time, floats upright.
Floats upright, baby.
Keeps my stuff right there for me. Oh, we love a Rugged Road cooler. Gear up for your next adventure with a Rugged Road cooler. Reliable, durable, and built to be used. Rugged Road is your ultimate outdoor companion. Head on over there to ruggedroadoutdoors.com. Use the code DLLS for 10% off.
Let's get these likes up, baby. Let's get these likes up. Come on, man. We need to be over 100, man. We need to be over 100.
We could be at 120 by the end of the segment, I think. Well, now I got the super chats. It is a Whiteboard Wednesday. We're each going to pick one offensive and one defensive free agent to add to the Cowboys because we're trying to win the dang Super Bowl. How about that? And you could throw some of yours in there. Let me hit these super chats. Number 1, Jamie or Jaime. Don't know.
I'm going to go with Jaime.
Guys.
Go with Jaime.
Assuming that Dallas would entertain this, wouldn't trading for or signing a free agent wide receiver be better than drafting one to win now before the window closes?
Cooper Kupp.
No.
Yes. Yeah. What? What do you mean the God no?
I think he means God no. I heard him say
that's
it.
fair.
I think, I heard him say it.
I'm about it.
I think wide receiver, like if you get the
What do you know about wide receiver?
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
I know that.
I'll teach you
this
one day,
one
though.
can't get 78 yards. Only 77.
I told you I'm gonna get you that yard.
But like that's one of the positions that translates quicker to the league. Like if you get a top end one,
Oh, yeah. They can play right now.
they can play right now. They can play right now and be successful right now.
I just got to go beat that guy.
It's in a passing league. You can't, all the physicalness at the line of scrimmage is dead. And if we're doing it right, you get guys in motions, you get guys in bunt sets, you get guys going inward, outward, exit motions. You can get guys open and not have to worry about being pressed all the time.
Yep.
Right. So I think that's the one position where you're okay. You're okay. It has to be high end. Like the whole 5th round guys and the small school guys.
Yeah.
No offense to the small schools, no offense to the late round guys. They don't always translate as fast as you need them. But
Hey,
you get the guys like
Go
Tet,
easy on Sky Moore.
yeah,
Any
you-
day
you know
now,
what
he's
I'm
going to
saying?
take
You get
off.
guys like Tet McMillian and guys like that. They translate quicker in the league than a lot of other positions.
No doubt. I'm just saying I don't know if you're gonna get one at 12.
Yeah.
Tet might be there.
Let me tell you, might be there, but
You got Luther, you got Tet, you got.
but I don't know if you will.
We'll take one.
That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
got
So
you,
like, I
got
think
you.
if you sign Cooper Kupp after he gets cut, there's a chance you can kind of
Brandon
Go around
the
it.
Boys 499 super chat. We don't talk enough about how Zeke still has the highest paid running back contract of all time in the league. With every other position, it gets higher every year.
Why would you do that?
Don't do it.
We're done.
Don't do it.
I think we're
Brandon.
good on Zeke.
Yeah.
We're
He's
good.
not saying
wait
bring-
till
he
you wait
just
till you see
talking
my
about-
free agents.
I just don't want to talk about if you put Zeke on there. I swear on everything
He's talking
holy.
about the evaluation of running back position.
Yeah, while
then-
it was
and then-
devaluing, we were paying the most for a guy.
That's what he's talking about.
And then Nesto, we got here. Defense gives me a safety who can. Oh, defense, give me a safety who can
nice.
play that 2021-2022 curse role. Offense, T. Higgins. All right,
I like it. I like it. Nesto.
I would,
gotta
man,
pay T.
I would love me some T.
I
Higgins.
would love me some T. Higgins.
Cowboys ain't doing that kind of money, I don't think. But I would love it. I would love it. Does anybody want to go first? Is there anybody who's just itching?
I think you.
You think me?
I think you.
All right, I did one for Clarence. It's not for Clarence. It's for me and for the Cowboys. But I got two names.
Oh.
Can I go? Should I go to that camera?
I gotta bend it down.
Puna. I got Puna Ford.
Puna!
There we go.
go.
Look at there. Puna Ford is a defensive tackle who's a free agent.
Okay.
And when I was perusing, when I told you I was donging around on the internet, Pro Football Focus is projecting him to get a 1 year, $3.5 million contract. So he just had a nice
Cowboy.
year. He just had a nice year against the run and as a rusher. And his career has not necessarily been that. And he's 29 years old. And so, like, that is the sort of player I think you sign so that you're not desperate when you go into a draft. Like, oh, they've got to take a D tackle. No. I have a guy that can be an NFL starter.
Yeah.
And I probably need to sign another one like him. And then we can talk about going drafting. And Hollywood Brown was a late audible for me.
I like it,
just
though.
realized that he's a free agent.
I didn't know that.
His projected contract, 2 years at $9 million per. How about throwing a legit speed guy that's a full wide receiver? Because, like, Turpin's a speed guy, but not a, how do you say, not a real wide receiver? Like, there's just some parts of the game that's not, what, did you get him? You had him on there too?
No, he's got a
he's
different-
talking about a speed guy.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, so give me Puna Ford. That gives me a defensive tackle, hook him. And then give me Hollywood Brown. Oh, I bounced it out with Boomer Sooner, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, you did.
I bounced it out with a Boomer Sooner.
CD
and we get
Lamb's
somebody who can
former
run
teammate.
fast. Yeah.
CD Lamb, former team. My only issue with Hollywood Brown is
I did
a lot of
good.
drops, man.
Well, and he gets hurt too.
Yeah, a lot of drops, man. So you all that speed, you better off throwing Turpin out there. They both gonna drop the ball and not be able to get to it.
Damn.
That's messed up.
Just-
That's messed up. So yeah, those are my two guys, Puna and Hollywood. I bet you guys don't pick cooler names than Puna and Hollywood.
Nope.
All right, Joe. Let me hit me since
Yeah,
you
I don't
hit
have,
me
I
with
don't have his cool
the,
names. My premise, I'm going to say this. These are two guys I think they should have signed last year that are also back on the market because they're not going to also be big.
Bobby
stars.
Henry.
You got one of them. Ha! Bobby Wagner and J.K. Dobbins. Because I think that J.K. proved enough in terms of being an RB1, like sustainable. Like I still question that a little bit after the injury. But I think if you add him and you do go get a running back, maybe a Caleb Johnson, maybe an Omarion Hampton to pair with that, if you don't get Ashton Jeanty, I think that that's a good way to kind of have some insurance for what you might have to do in the draft. I also think he's going to be cheaper than Rico Dowdle, actually. So I think that that's a way you can kind of still be a little cost efficient in terms of playing the market while also giving yourself some good insurance. And Bobby Wagner, speaking of insurance, I think their defense is going to need something. I think we don't know about DeMarvion Overshown if he's even going to play
There's
at all.
no chance he starts the year playing football.
No, definitely not starts the year. I
No.
don't know if he plays at all next year.
Right.
Like that's not our report. That's just a skeptical kind of question. I do like what Maris Liufau did a little bit last year, but I still think that there's room for development there. I also think that he can kind of play a little bit and be a versatile piece. So I'm not sure if his full position is going to be inside linebacker forever in Eberflus's system. I don't know. And then I think, Eric Hendricks is a free agent. I think you can kind of get that same kind of impact with Bobby Wagner, a guy who can lead, a guy who can sustain the room, and a guy who, frankly, is still playing really, really good ball. He had one of his better career years last year on PFF in the last 5 years, last season in Washington. I think you bring him over. He's not going to be expensive. He's a guy that adds experience, depth, and someone that can lead you on a defensive team that's probably going to lose to Marcus Lawrence as well and be that leader for you.
We can sign all those guys. So far, we can sign all four of ours.
Yeah, let's do it.
You think Bobby Wagner wants to leave under the coaching and tutelage and teaching of
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn?
That's a good question. I mean, maybe,
Why you
but
taking
maybe they're
shots at
ready.
Flus? Why are you taking shots at Flus?
I mean, at this point in time, if I'm Bobby Wagner and I'm literally on the final years of my career, I want to stick to the River Lake that I'm used to.
Right.
The coach that knows me, I know him. Hey, I can go to him and go, "Hey, listen, coach, I ain't got it today. You know, I'm gonna be there on Sunday. You know I am.
He should probably just go
But
across the street to the Eagles. And try
But
to
you
get
know,
him a ring.
hey, I'm gonna need.
Did he get a ring in Seattle?
I'm a.
Yeah, he got a ring in Seattle, yeah.
He's part of Leads the Boom.
Yeah. He leads
I'm
in
gonna say, coach, I'm gonna need Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe walk through on Friday. But I'm gonna be ready on Sunday.
Yeah.
And him and Dan Quinn have that relationship. And he can go, I got you.
But there's also no income tax in Texas, and I think that you got to make as much money as you can before you're out.
Is any player ever going to actually take that and be like, yes, and that's why I signed here? We say it all the time, and no player has ever been like, yeah.
I've seen players say that's the reason they didn't sign with the California team before.
Okay,
that's the reason for that. But
Club Pop.
I'd like to have fun. Hit the song.
Where legends drop, Clarence Hill just can't stop. Breaking news, you gotta hop in Club Pop.
You're killing me, Jesse.
Yes.
You're killing me.
Yes.
You're
it's
killing
too
me.
good,
You're
man.
killing me.
It's too
Yes.
I like to have fun.
Okay. What we
good.
got
Nasty work.
here? Ooh.
There it is.
Amari Cooper.
Bring Amari Cooper back. Let's undo the mistake of years ago and get an old Amari Cooper, put him next to CD Lamb.
Is he vaxxed?
Is he vaxxed? I don't think it
Absolutely
matters
not.
anymore.
Oh.
The president said that if you have vaxxed in your schools, you're not getting no government money. I think it's the same thing with football teams. But Amari Cooper's still productive. You still need a number 2 receiver. Bring him back, and you can still draft a receiver for the future. And I don't think he's going to be $20 million at this point in his career. But
I don't either.
bring a guy back who's productive, who can be a great complement to CeeDee Lamb. You still need that guy that can make the contested catches, decent size. He can still get down the field. Of course, he don't run much faster than Jesse right now, but get down the
Yeah, he's
field.
not too
He might not
fast.
get that 78. He get that 77.
But he's smooth.
But he's
He's
smooth.
still a smooth
and he's
route
still a
guy.
route runner.
The route guy.
He's still a route runner. So, team media, let's get this Amari Cooper back here so we can get that Jared talking about. Well, you see, I really liked Amari Cooper.
Oh, he can lie to our face. Yeah, I always liked him. Man.
I always liked Amari Cooper. And of course,
817.
as I go with my 817 Crowley, my man from Crowley, Milton Williams, you need to improve that 3 technique, that tackle position on Matt Eberflus defense. He's the number 1 defensive tackle on the market. He can get to the quarterback. He can make a difference. We're trying to get a Super Bowl, right? We don't just.
Kinda. Well, I mean, we're
I
trying
mean,
to
the
turn
goal is
profit.
you want difference-making players. Guys can make an impact. Milton Williams can make an impact.
Speaking French, who's we?
We. I mean, that's the goal, right? To get you said the goal was to build.
You don't
and who can
tell
we
me
get
the goal.
add? I thought that was the process of what we're doing
That's
here.
my goal.
Adding free agents to build a winner.
Right.
Okay. Get difference makers.
All right, I don't have no big sexy names. I think
both your names are sexy to me.
I think they're
To me?
really, really, really good professional football players.
I want pros.
I want pros. These guys are pros, and they make your football team better immediately, like today. I'm going with offensively.
Oh, you
I'm
went
going
with
with
him.
Ronnie Stanley, the tackle that's right now was with the Baltimore Ravens last year. They gave up 2 sacks. What did I say here? 2 sacks,
That's too
4
many.
hits, and 35 total pressures in the season. With a quarterback like Lamar Jackson,
That
who
is
for a tackle, you don't know where he's ever going to be back there. So sometimes those pressures and
You
those
don't know what
hits
you're blocking
and those
for.
sacks don't necessarily be on the offensive lineman when you have a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, who at any given time supposed to be in the pocket for a 3-step drop or 5-step drop, is all of a sudden now, he's out of the pocket, he's all over the place, and now you've given up inside because he's supposed to be outside. He's giving up outside because he's going to be inside. So that sometimes is the give or take when you have a mobile / exciting runner like Lamar Jackson at quarterback. But that answers your right tackle position right now. If you want to use a guy
left
in,
tackle.
sorry, left tackle. Sorry,
So you're giving up on TG?
Yeah.
That's not called giving up. If he wants to go try to win the right tackle
Go win
job or the right
tackle
guard job,
or go play right guard. But at that point in time, I'm giving you a pro that's going to be able to start today and make your football team and your offensive line better today.
I love
2
your
first
I
names.
love,
2 first names. Ronnie Stanley.
Ronnie
Yeah.
Stanley?
I love your second pick.
Ronnie
Stanley-
Stanley is considered the best left tackle free agent. The one who's third is Tyron Smith.
Bring him home.
Stop it.
1 year, $8 million. They
Bring him
say.
home.
No, thank you.
He gone.
Bring
good.
him home.
And then my guy for defense, put it back on me one more time, TC.
Give it
I love
to
it. I
him.
love
I
this.
like him.
I love it.
He's
Nick Bolton.
Local guy.
He would be my linebacker, like 1 prospect in free agency.
Give me
I just don't
Nick
know if they can
Bolton.
afford him.
Frisco High School man,
Frisco
Missouri
Lone
Tiger.
Star.
81 tackles, 4 sacks last year. You saw this is a Gronk product. It's not going to break if you
Oh,
even
it
if
ain't
it
never
falls.
gonna break.
Nick Bolton. I think this dude would solidify the middle of your defense. He is a guy who is when he hits you, you stop.
And he's a line them up, tell everybody what to do guy.
Yes, he to your Bobby Wagner situation. Yeah. Nick Bolton is that kind of guy. He can get the defense lined up. He knows how to shed blocks. So even if you haven't figured out how to get a guy like Pundo or a guy in front of you, Nick Bolton's a guy who can shed blocks, get to the ball carrier. He plays decent in coverage. Not the best cover guy, but decent. Yeah. He's good enough to do it. But when it comes to being a tackler, you're not getting away from Nick Bolton. Like when he gets hit, when he wraps you up, you are being tackled. There's not going to be a lot of missed tackles. Guys are going to know what to do. He brings a championship pedigree with him from Kansas City. So that will definitely help. So I'm going to go with Nick Bolton and Ronnie Stanley for my guys.
Jeremy in the Super Chat's going to phrase this in a weird way. I've been banging Bolton all year.
Yay.
Thank you. Which is
Good
either
job,
a breaking story or like banging the drum, like trying to get him.
Mm-hmm.
He just donging around.
Yeah. Maybe he was just donging around.
The biggest tackle I've ever seen in a high school football game came courtesy of Nick Bolton in 2018. When a small receiver from another Frisco school came on a middle screen, tunnel screen, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to catch the ball." Bolton saw the whole way, hit him in midair, picked him up, and then pile drive him like 7 yards back. I'll share it on Twitter. It's one of the coolest hits I've seen.
Did he live at least?
Yeah, he got up and he's like, he even replied in the comments like, "Oh, guys, I'm good."
That's what NFL guys in high school do to guys in high school who are not NFL guys.
But I covered a lot of guys in high school.
That's what I was doing to people. Wrapping them up, you know. That's probably what Jesse was doing.
I didn't want to tackle nobody. I didn't want to tackle anybody. I didn't want no parts of that.
High school.
I would pull you down by your jersey in a heartbeat.
All right, coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, we got some questions from the people, including if those two are both available in the first round, who do you want? We're doing these things next. But first, if you're donging around on the internet,
oh my God,
why don't you dong on over to alldlls.com and sign up to be a diehard. You can use the QR code that's on the screen as well to get you squared away. I think I have a DLLS shirt on. I found one of them.
You got one on? Yo, what you call it, the DLS shirt?
It's DLLS. Well, this is all city.
Us.
Yeah, that's more of a
under one
man.
umbrella. Under one umbrella.
Corporation, if you will.
got those at the Super Bowl.
But yeah, sign up to be a diehard. You get hooked up with all sorts of things when you do that. You get a free T-shirt as soon as you sign up that you can pick from our merch store. You get 20% off all of the merch in the merch store. You get 20% off on events, which we got another one coming up here pretty soon. Tell you all about it. And you get access to our Discord lounge, where it's great for watching along during a Mavericks game or a Stars game, Ranger games that'll be coming up. Because, you know, you have different channels for each of the teams and then for all of the random things that we're in there hanging out, talking about video games, little Pokemon Go chat. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But you get access to that when you sign up to be a diehard at alldlls.com. You also get a carrying card that says you're a diehard.
I saw Ben walking around here this morning. Still don't have a carrying card.
No carrying card
I
for
asked
me?
him. I've been pressing him. He's
Ben, we've been working on that carrying card?
This guy.
Are we going to sign up?
No power.
I guess we're going to sign up.
Where's the power?
I work here.
Where's the power, Ben?
I should get a card.
Where's your power? Huh?
Carrying card.
Who do we got to call? We'll call.
You also get an ad-free experience on the website when you're a diehard, and you'll get all the behind-the-scenes and premium content from guys like Joe and Clarence, and then our draft stuff that's coming up is going to be incredible. So it's just the hookup. It's you know, if you're a diehard of all of your DFW sports teams, it's what you need to do. It's just a great value. Get that all squared away so that you know everything you need to know about all of your teams, and you can hang out with us in Discord and have a carrying card. Those are things that matter in the world. Carrying cards.
Ben is too busy making videos and music, creating music on AI.
What kind of music are you creating?
That's what Ben is doing. That's why he doesn't have. He's making music.
Hey, there we go.
If I never get a carrying card, but we continue to get tracks like that,
I don't even want another track like that.
Fair trade.
That's so good. It's like don't try to top that.
the whole 3-minute one is even better.
Like, don't even try to top it. Like, just let that one just win all the
What?
Grammys.
Whole 3-minute one.
Yeah.
There's a full song.
Have you not heard
the
it?
whole song?
There's
Never
more.
heard no song.
Oh, there's more.
It's a picture of you as the
Yeah.
background. It's fantastic.
Yeah, there's more. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole. It's a whole track.
Oh, yeah.
When has that been put
They
out?
talk about
It's a-
no, we haven't put it out yet.
We
We
haven't
haven't
put
got
it out
100 retweets yet.
Yeah, we haven't got 100 retweets, so people can't hear it.
Oh, it's in there.
The line about smoking cigars is iconic.
It's a good little jingle,
It's a
man.
ditty.
We're an
not
interactive.
Diddy.
We're an interactive
No
show.
Diddy.
Dro Nose says Jeff used to be a mini Bill Romanowski back in the day.
You're doing
think
steroids?
I don't think I was racist.
Yeah,
Wait, did he have that? I remember he spit on a guy.
Yeah,
Spit on a guy,
steroid guy,
steroid guy, all of the above.
I don't think I was.
Were you any of the three? Were you any of the three
I've done steroids.
in high school?
No, after high school and after college.
Like Balco
yeah.
in the butt?
Oh, you did a legit.
I'm
whoa!
not
Oh
surprised.
no, you're talking about like for medical purposes. Like,
No.
Oh no, because
I was crushing at flag football.
Stop.
Like that's not why I took it. I just happened to have a friend who was doing it, and he was like, "Yeah, I can get this stuff." And I was like,
You had a
"All right."
casual friend doing steroids for flag football?
Barry Bonds is your friend.
Yeah. What?
Oh.
Yeah. I
For
did
flag
steroids.
football?
And I can tell you, there's a
He said
reason.
in college as well, though.
No, after college.
Okay.
After college.
There's a reason why it is not
He
allowed.
said in college and after
But
college.
if it weren't bad for you, I would support everybody being allowed to do it for sports. Because that's what we want,
So
right?
tell us about it. What were the effects?
I want to see the Monstars. That's what I want.
I know.
I want to see, what are you willing to do?
Like
to
what
win
is
sports?
like were you? Because I remember you playing flag football. You weren't jacked up.
No, that was later, but years before I had a little bit, some of it,
Okay.
I would say when you take steroids, you will gain 15 pounds of muscle on accident. Like you don't even have to do nothing.
That's insane.
It is nutty.
Shout out to the cheaters at Immaculata High School in Jersey. Because when I was in high school, there was a reason why y'all was so much bigger than everybody else, and y'all was hammering us, and we always thought that you guys took steroids, and then it came out that you were, and it was being supplied by the conditioning coach at Immaculata. You cheaters!
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Balco. That was in my hometown.
They did that at Stephenville, too. So.
Stephenville?
Oh, my
Back in the
God.
day against Schulenburg?
No, they weren't against Schulenburg. Yeah. Come on, stop.
When I was at Allen, we had some people that were
Yeah, no doubt.
getting big.
Kyler
No,
it.
not Kyler. No, Choosing
That's
for
what I'm
flag
saying.
football is legendary. I'm just telling you, it wasn't actually for that. I mean, it played, but it was
What were you
just
doing it for then? You just was
the hell of it.
the hell of it. You just
You
Because
did
a guy
steroids,
had access
just-
to it.
Are
I was
you
like, yeah,
surprised that Jeff did something for the hell of it? Are you
No,
surprised?
I'm not.
That, okay,
No,
that's a good
okay,
point.
come on.
That's a
on.
great point.
I'm not. You're right.
Impulse.
Let's do a list of what has Jeff not done.
Whoa.
I don't know if that
Gonna
might
be
be
show.
that might be that
It's
might
gonna be a
that
show
might be
segment.
that might be discourse type conversation right now. I don't know. That might get us
Not-
kicked off the
What has
internet.
he not ingested?
It's gonna be a short segment.
I feel like you've done a coffee enema. You've done coffee enemas, haven't
I don't
you?
like coffee now, but I'll energy drink enema. Yeah,
You
no
did. You've done
problem.
an energy drink enema?
No, I haven't done that. I don't-
Who?
I've never done a
Look it up.
a booty
Is that
chug.
a dry heave?
No.
Oh.
no.
Oh, an enema. No.
Yeah. No.
We're an interactive
Did
show.
you call me an enema?
So,
Public enema?
sometimes we ask for questions from the people, and I've pulled some of them from my Twitter account.
Bro, training for the Special Olympics.
We may have already addressed this. If Tet McMillian's available at 12 and so is Ashton Jeanty, who do you want? Personally, I would draft McMillian at that point and wait to draft a running back until the second round.
I agree. Especially if we do what I said and go get Ronnie Stanley.
If you go get Ronnie Stanley and you take the receiver,
Yep.
and we'll worry about running back later,
Correct.
especially if we have J.K. Dobbins already.
That's right.
Then we ain't worried about it.
I mean, I'm a Genty guy, but I have no problem with that decision.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that decision.
This is hard because I talked about it a little bit this morning on my personal YouTube page. I feel like a traitor to my people,
What people?
running back haters.
Oh, okay. It's got to be sweet.
I think I would take Jeanty.
Wow.
Welcome.
That tells you how special Genty is, or how special you think he is.
It tells you, and it also tells you how I feel about everybody in this draft not named Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Mason Graham.
Right.
That Ashton Jeanty, I think, is my fourth guy, even with the position he plays, because everybody else you start having some questions about. I like Tet. I think he would fit with CD really well.
You're being
What's your question about Ted?
I'm scared of Tet.
The non-separator guys I don't love.
I'm scared
I
of
don't love
Tet.
the non-separating receivers.
I
Like
don't
he's a big,
we already
fluid
have
moving
one.
guy.
We already have a non-separator. We already have a separator in CD Lamb. I need the big.
I want them all
body.
getting open.
I do too. But when you
I'm
have
scared
that
of
much
Ted.
range,
I got a little fear of Tet.
I'm scared
And
of
like
Tet.
Drake London's a good NFL player, and I think that's probably my comp. And I see people who don't like that on the other. He's like, he's got more of this or that. I'm like, not really.
Not really. Yeah. What? London was a stud coming in. Like
He's a big catch radius outside receiver that's better than you would expect after the catch for a guy that tall. But it's not like it's
is he
super
running away
dynamic.
from people?
No,
no.
I don't
I'm scared of Tet. I'll be honest.
I like him.
I do.
But that's where I am, where it's like whoever the guy is that's not one of those top 3 guys, and I'm like, well, okay, what are your knocks on Jeanty? And I'm like, the position he plays, the end. Yeah. That's it.
Right.
And that makes it hard to pick him too high. But if I'm picking between him and guys that I'm like,
Emmitt Smith with more juice, baby. Emmitt Smith with more juice, baby.
Facts.
More
I think I'd rather take Luther Burden than Tet.
What's that?
I think I'd rather take Luther Burden than Tet. Right now.
Can Luther run away from you?
Kinda ish. I wouldn't call him burner.
He's not a
But
burner.
for the first 4 years, maybe before he slows down. But
He can run better. If he would win a foot race with Tet.
Go get me the Ohio State receiver.
he's not like a runaway guy either.
He definitely
Go
not
get
a
me a
runaway.
pro. Go get
He is a pro.
Ibuka is a pro. Ibuka's the one I feel the
pro.
safest about.
Who?
Go get me
Emeka Ibuka,
pro.
Ohio State.
But at 12,
Get
you're
me
not
a pro.
you're not picking him at 12.
Right.
Route running is the all separator. If you can run good routes, precise routes, that's how you separate. Speed, yes, that's a factor, but go get me the pro ready route running receiver.
Mark Cooper.
Meow.
Jesse, you're going to be
Sound like
so
Mark
hyped
Cooper.
when they take Tez Johnson in the 4th round.
Sound like Mark
You're going to be
Cooper.
so excited.
Sound like Mark Cooper.
117 pounds.
That's
of
right,
it.
baby.
He running routes at 117.
But he running routes, though.
How much your boy in Philly weigh? 118?
He came out at like
Devontae?
170.
No, the kid from Alabama.
Yeah, Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think you meant I'm like, oh, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
from a guy named
Parents
at Kosher Taco Truck.
Okay.
I like
Shout
it.
to the kosher. Does that make him Jewish?
I mean,
I'll
or
be honest, I'm not
anybody-
really familiar with all the kosher game, to be honest.
Chances that Micah asking for aggression and team building is going to actually persuade the front office to do that.
Percentage?
11.
Sure, percentage.
11.
0.
11. I'll go with
I mean,
11.
it's a
Same as 0.
but didn't want to say it out loud.
11.
Well, 11.
11%.
Linebacker or running back? What's your emergency need signing in free agency? Well, how do you pick between the two?
I think as of right now, it's
Linebacker.
running back.
He's running back.
Linebacker.
Because you ready to run out Leah Fowl, Buddy Johnson?
You got
Free
no
agents?
In free agent. Yeah, like you have no, I mean, it's Deuce Vaughn and Malik Davis.
They do. They have to sign a running back
Yeah.
before the draft. They have. Well,
They got to sign a
I
running back.
think they have to.
Well, remember we thought that last year,
might.
and then they
right.
brought Zeke back after the draft.
Yeah,
And then
think
didn't
they-
draft a running back on top of it.
They need to sign both. Like need to sign both. If you get to the NFL draft and you haven't signed a linebacker and a running back that are both starting caliber, you have failed miserably in setting yourself up to draft.
Yeah.
Miserably. So the answer
Okay,
is
let's do
both
this.
of them.
Let's do this before the draft. What do they need to sign starting caliber? You said running back and
A running back,
linebacker.
a linebacker,
Defensive.
Defensive
corner.
tackle?
a D tackle.
Okay.
At least.
So you need 4 starting caliber positions.
At least.
I personally would take cornerback off the board and put an offensive lineman in.
Okay, well,
I-
let's play this game. Who's starting a corner for you if you don't?
I'm
Right.
going to go with Deron Bland, and I'll go with Carson.
And need one more.
Oh, yeah, Jordan
You
Lewis
got
is
to sign.
gone.
That's right. You got to sign. Jordan Lewis.
I'm going with Amani Aurora.
We need a
We're
corner.
not going to Mario.
Yeah, we need a corner.
Yeah, we need a corner.
Yeah.
They got work to do.
Yeah.
They got work to do.
Might need 2 corners. I'm not.
Keemon Hall.
I'm not sold on.
I like
stop
Keemon
it,
Hall.
Stop it.
I
Not
like
to
Keemon Hall.
start. Not to start.
I don't
Stop
hate it. I wouldn't have hated it in week 18 if he was starting.
I felt
18,
better about
when the season was over. We had nothing to play for. Yeah.
I wouldn't have hated it in week 10.
Okay.
I felt better about Kalen Carson playing football before he played in a real game. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Man.
Trust me. So did I.
Or the kid that blew his. What's the
Well,
kid?
Josh Butler, but he's not going to be ready in time.
Right, Josh Butler.
I
We
like
felt
Josh
good about
Butler,
all of
too.
those guys.
In the super chat, Dak prefers separation. Amari Cooper trade. Just bring Amari
Ibuka.
back. Just bring Amari back. Yeah, make a Ibuka. It'd be nice. It gives you a more explosive binky. You know, like
Tyler Warren. I love Tyler
for the-
Warren.
you like you some Tyler. You want to get you a
Boy,
tight end
man.
at number 12?
Just kidding.
That
Come on,
discussion
so
came up.
you're just saying that because you're trying to get somebody to jump off side.
That
No, I'm
discussion,
not. I would
that
never.
discussion came up.
I'm not jumping
I
off
thought
sides.
about this. I started to tweet you guys. There was somebody put a comp out about the tight ends, and
It was the
What?
DJ, yeah.
it was Daniel Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about he put the tight ends in the category of Gronk and Kelsey.
I do that too.
And I'm like, are we really saying that Gronk, who some people consider the greatest tight end in NFL history, or put him in that category, was just a straight line guy who could block? I was having nightmares
Kinda.
about that
Yeah,
conversation.
no, 100%. Yeah.
I was having nightmares
100%.
about.
That's what he was.
He makes people. He breaks tackles. He does more
Yeah,
than
because
just.
he's huge, but
that's
in a
in
straight
his
line.
straight line.
Yeah, I know, but he was a straight line and mofo.
Yeah.
and a tackle breaking mofo.
No, but I support
and a difference making mofo.
every time we talk about any tight end prospect, I separate him in that way. Like,
Yeah.
is he going to put a hand down and be able to help you blocking and then go run his stuff? Or are we talking about
Yeah, because they were saying Kelsey was, a lot of people, Kelsey is just a slot.
Kid from
big
Michigan is
slot
what he
receiver.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the kid from Michigan literally lines up out there
Right.
like 70% of the time. He's a gigantic receiver. Whereas Tyler Warren, he does that a lot too,
Yeah.
but he will be a real tight end, or at least can be.
He won't be there in round 2 for the Cowboys, probably not. But I would, if he was there, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Loveless?
If he's in round 2.
Loveless?
Yeah.
No, not Warren. Loveless.
Okay.
I'm
You
talking
could
about
also
the-
take LSU's tight end in the second round. You could also take Miami's tight end in the second round. I'm
And
just telling
You
you.
could take Rondé Gatson in the 5th and have a great time.
Texas tight end in the 3rd is good.
Everybody, 152 likes. Hit the like button on your way out of the shop. On your way out of the shop or Club Pop Pop. If you could hit the like button on the way out.
Clarence Hill just can't stop. Breaking news, you gotta hop.
This is a banger. You gotta like this, please.
Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.